One of the important elements of E, S, and G is the S, the social side. And a lot of companies look at that social side and think it's about our relationship with the community, or it's about human rights, or it's about equal opportunity or DEI. And albeit that is true as part of the S in ESG, but the S is also there to interact with other elements, the E and the G. And so the classic topic comes up of environmental impact of carbon and climate change. In the West, we're looking at developed countries looking to reduce their footprints and are demanding that the developing world do the same. Now, in many cases, that's just not practical and it's just not realistic. And frankly, it's just not something that's going to happen. So the recognition that we are one planet, that we all need to work together, and that we need to recognize the different levels of development and the use of carbon-intensive materials is essential. It is very clear that we are not going to be turning off fossil fuels anytime soon. That is definitely not happening. Any suggestion that we will is not realistic. We will still be using fossil fuels for energy production, car production, oils, plastics for a very long time. And a lot of that will happen in the developing world. So we need to recognize that exists. So in some countries, that may not be the answer. Forcing those countries to reduce that carbon footprint may not be the answer. What might be the answer in some of those markets is carbon removal. So rather than the reduction element where we take something away from that developing country that the developed country has had for 50 years, it might be that carbon removal is more appropriate. So the carbon capture, utilization and storage is maybe a role for that country versus a reduction, which may be relevant for those countries that are more developed. Again, the recognition is that one size doesn't fit all, and that we need to recognize that the world is interconnected and that developing countries and developed countries have got to have different solutions when it comes to environmental management. And that is just expected, and it's something that we should all be realistic about.